There's a few more things you can do with the reports. I've opened up a profit and loss detail report by clicking Reports, choosing Company and Financial, and then Profit and Loss Detail. Suppose I made changes to this. Maybe I added some columns or filtered some data. You can memorize it so that you can pull it up very quickly with those changes. To memorize a report, click Memorize at the top of the screen, and then give your report a name, maybe how you customized it. I'll click OK, and my memorized report has been saved. You can get there again by clicking Reports, choosing Memorize Reports, and then finding your memorized report in that list. It's important to note about memorized reports that when you use arbitrary dates like last week, yesterday, or today, it's not going to remember the actual dates that were there when you memorize the report. If you run a report that contains data for this week and you run it 4 weeks into the future, then those dates are going to be 4 weeks into the future. It's not going to be these hard-coded dates that were set when you memorize the report. After you run your memorized report, you can print it. Select Print, and then Report from the top of the list. You'll get a dialog box that you can send to the printer. I find it useful to click the Preview button and first see how your report's going to look before you print it. I'll click Close on this, and then Cancel. And I'll click Customize Report on the top left-hand side of the screen. I'll change to the Header and Footer tab, and here's where I can change anything I want about the way the report's going to print out or be displayed on the screen. For example, I can add an extra footer line to the bottom, such as Confidential. I'll click OK, and now when I print my report on paper, I'll see the small print Confidential at the bottom of every page. The last thing I want to show you is that you can export this data directly to Excel so that you can do your own further customizing and add any calculations to the data. From the top of the screen, choose Excel and then Create New Worksheet. I'll leave the defaults and then click Export. It only takes a few moments. And here's what it comes out looking like with no further refining from me. I'll zoom out a bit so that we can see it. All the data's here, and it's nicely formatted into columns and rows. From here, it's just a standalone Excel file, so you can save it through Excel and send it to anybody and work on it. So these are just a few more things that you can do with reports in QuickBooks. When you put everything together, reports are a very powerful means of handling and looking at your day-to-day activities.